I remember how happy I was to be home from school, and I remember laying down and melting into the couch, and then I remember hearing my phone buzz in my pocket. I remember picking it up and seeing that it was my dad, and I remember hearing his voice shake when he told me my mom was in the hospital. And I remember not being too worried because my mom is the strongest person that I've ever met. This is a speech in honor of my mom, Jill, and one thing about her is she loved to be at the lake, and that's where we find ourselves almost every weekend. And she had a really funny way of showing us how much she loved us, and that was when we were getting pulled behind the inner tube. And if you've never done it before, it's an amazing experience. Wind blowing past you, water splashing in the face. But what my mom loved to do is try to get my brother and I and whip us off the tube as much as she could. I was as young as 5 or 6. So sometimes when I'd skip across the water, it would hurt pretty much. And I remember swimming up to the boat, and I'd be crying sometimes, and my mom would hug me, and she'd tell me, hey, you're brave enough just for being out there. And then she'd make me a sandwich, and then put me back on the tube and do it all again. And that was just her funny way of showing us how much she loved us, and showing us how to have a good time and still be caring to one another. And the only thing that could match my mom's vast amount of love was her vast amount of strength. And so when I got the call that my mom had a stroke, it was mind-boggling because the strongest woman that I know was put in a very dark place. And I remember a few months after she came home from the hospital, and it was hard for all of us. She had lost feeling in the right side of her body, and it was really hard for her to communicate with us. But I just remember seeing this spark in her eye and the courage that she carried herself with every day. And that courage and that strength is something that that's something that has influenced me my entire life, and something that I try to bring out every day. Whether I'm fearful of something, I just try to be as courageous as my mom was during that really dark period. And if you guys get the chance, go home, call your mom, and tell her how much she means to you, because that morning when I left for school could have been the last time I was able to do that with my mom. And the story does end with a happy ending. If you guys go to any lake within like 100-mile radius, you can see a woman driving the boat with a huge grin on her face and towing her 2 kids behind her on the inner tube. Thank you.